The air in Keddie, California, hangs heavy, thick with the scent of pine and the silence of secrets. Nestled amidst towering pines, the former resort town stands as a stark reminder of a tragedy that time cannot erase. The once vibrant cabins, now weathered and worn, whisper tales of a night etched in blood and shadowed by unanswered questions. It was here, in the secluded tranquility of the Sierra Nevada, that evil found its way into the lives of an unsuspecting family. The year was 1981. The victims, a mother and her children, sought solace in a fresh start in this sleepy mountain town. What they found instead was a nightmare. The tranquility of Keddie, forever shattered, transformed into a breeding ground for fear and suspicion. Even today, as the wind whistles through the pines, it carries a chilling reminder of the unsolved murders that continue to haunt this once peaceful haven. The story of Keddie is not merely a true crime tale. It's a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of the ordinary, leaving an indelible mark on a community forever changed. Glenna Sue Sharp, a 36-year-old mother seeking refuge from a troubled past, arrived in Keddie with her 5 children in tow. They moved into Cabin 28, a modest dwelling nestled among others in the rundown resort. Despite its dilapidated state, Keddie held the promise of a fresh start for Sue and her family. Her eldest daughter, 15-year-old Sheila, a kind and gentle soul, embraced the quiet beauty of their new surroundings. John, a headstrong yet protective 14-year-old, found adventure exploring the wooded areas surrounding their cabin. Young Tina, a bright and energetic 12-year-old, quickly befriended the other children in the close-knit community. Life in Keddie was simple, a stark contrast to the turmoil the family had left behind. For a brief time, laughter and the warmth of family filled the once empty rooms of Cabin 28. They were rebuilding their lives piece by piece, unaware of the darkness that was about to descend upon them. The morning of April 12, 1981, dawned cold and clear in Keddie. It was a day that would forever stain the town's history, a day when the idyllic facade of the mountain community crumbled, revealing the horror that lay beneath. Sheila, returning from a sleepover at a neighbor's cabin, stumbled upon a scene that would forever haunt her nightmares. The door of Cabin 28 hung ajar, an eerie silence emanating from within. Stepping inside, she was met with the unimaginable. The bodies of her mother, John, and John's friend, 12-year-old Dana Wingate, lay brutally slain, bound with electrical cord. The terror in their lifeless eyes, frozen in time, spoke volumes of the horror they had endured. The once familiar space had transformed into a charnel house, the air thick with the stench of death and the palpable weight of evil. The brutal savagery of the crime scene sent shockwaves through the small community, leaving an indelible scar on the very soul of Keddie. News of the murders spread through Keddie like wildfire, igniting a firestorm of fear and disbelief. The tranquility of the mountain town vanished, replaced by the chilling realization that a monstrous act had been committed in their midst. Law enforcement descended upon the scene, a flurry of activity replacing the usual serenity of the woods. The investigation, however, was plagued by missteps and a lack of resources, hampered by the remoteness of the location and the limited forensic technology of the time. Despite their efforts, the trail quickly ran cold. Rumors and speculation filled the void left by concrete answers. The community, gripped by fear and suspicion, turned inward, questioning everything and everyone. As days turned into weeks, then months, the hope of finding the killer dwindled, leaving behind a residue of unanswered questions and a community forever scarred. The investigation into the Keddie murders was a textbook example of how not to handle a complex crime scene. Crucial evidence was mishandled, potential witnesses were overlooked, and the crime scene itself was compromised within hours of the bodies being discovered. Adding to the confusion, Tina Sharp, the youngest victim, was missing from the scene. Her disappearance only deepened the mystery, fueling speculation and casting a wider net of suspicion. The lack of progress in the case fueled rumors and conjecture within Keddie. Whispers of a cover-up and speculation about the possible involvement of more than one perpetrator began to circulate. The once close-knit community became fractured, divided by suspicion and the fear that the killer might still be among them. As months turned into years, the investigation into the Keddie murders yielded few answers. Two individuals, however, emerged as potential suspects, their names forever linked to the tragedy. Martin Smart and Severin John Bo Bubaid. Smart, a Vietnam veteran known to suffer from PTSD and prone to violent outbursts, lived with his wife and her two sons, Justin and Greg, in cabin 26, just a stone's throw from the murder scene. He became a person of interest after his wife Marilyn came forward with chilling details. She claimed that on the night of the murders, Martin had returned home acting strangely, confessing to having done something terrible. Adding to the suspicion, Marilyn revealed that Martin had befriended Sue Sharp and her children, often spending time at their cabin. Further fueling the suspicions surrounding Martin Smart, a hammer, believed to be the murder weapon, was found near his home. Severin John Bo Bubaid, a former Plumas County Sheriff's deputy, added another layer of intrigue to the already convoluted case. Known for his eccentric behavior and fascination with the occult, Bubaid quickly became the subject of intense scrutiny. He was reportedly acquainted with the Sharp family and had been seen in the vicinity of cabin 28 in the days leading up to the murders. Bubaid's alleged knowledge of police procedures and his access to investigative details raised further suspicions, leading some to believe he may have been involved in the crime or, at the very least, had information he was withholding. Adding to the unsettling nature of his potential involvement, Bubaid was known to have made cryptic comments about the murders, claiming to have had visions of the crime scene. The unsolved murders in Keddie cast a long shadow over the once peaceful town. Fear and suspicion became unwelcome residents, poisoning the very fabric of the community. The once close-knit residents, now wary of their neighbors, retreated into their homes, haunted by the knowledge that the killer may still walk among them. The once thriving tourist destination became a ghost town, the whispers of the murders echoing through the empty streets and abandoned cabins. The economic impact was devastating as visitors, once drawn to the area's natural beauty, were scared away by the dark cloud hanging over Keddie. The social fabric of the town unraveled as trust eroded, replaced by suspicion and fear. The trauma of the unsolved murders left an indelible mark on Keddie, a stark reminder of the fragility of peace and the enduring power of unanswered questions. Years turned into decades, and still, the Keddie murders remained unsolved. The case, cold for years, offered a glimmer of hope in 2013, when a hammer, believed to be the murder weapon, was found near the location of the murders. This discovery breathed new life into the investigation, but ultimately, it failed to yield any concrete answers. Then, in 2016, the skull of Tina Sharp, missing since that fateful night in 1981, was finally recovered, bringing a semblance of closure to one aspect of the tragedy. Her remains, found in a remote area not far from Keddie, served as a painful reminder of the unsolved murders and the long shadow they cast over the community. Despite these developments, the question of who committed the heinous acts in cabin 28 lingered. The lack of answers only fueled speculation, ensuring that the story of the Keddie murders remained alive in the public imagination. The unsolved murders in Keddie serve as a stark reminder of the often elusive nature of justice. Despite the passage of time, the tireless efforts of investigators, and the unwavering hope of a community desperate for answers, the perpetrators of this heinous crime remain at large. The case, a chilling testament to the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of the ordinary, continues to fascinate and frustrate, inspiring countless theories, books, and documentaries, each attempting to piece together the fragments of a puzzle that seems impossible to solve. The legacy of the Keddie murders is one of enduring mystery, unfathomable loss, and the haunting realization that some wounds, no matter how deep, may never truly heal. The victims, forever etched in the annals of true crime, deserve justice, and the community of Keddie deserves closure. Until then, the whispers in the pines will continue to haunt, a chilling reminder of a tragedy that time cannot erase.